Have you ever wondered why there is one person you simply cannot stop thinking about? No matter how much time passes, no matter how busy you become, no matter how many times you tell yourself to move on, their memory keeps returning. Sometimes during the day, sometimes late at night. Sometimes when you hear a certain song, visit a certain place, or see something that reminds you of them. And the strange part is that this doesn't only happen with people who loved us deeply. Sometimes it happens with people who hurt us, disappointed us, or left us confused. Why? Why does the mind keep returning to someone who is no longer part of our life? The answer is hidden deep inside human psychology. And today we're exploring 10 psychological signs that reveal the hidden reason you can't stop thinking about them. Some of these signs may surprise you, and by the end of this video, you may finally understand what your mind has been trying to tell you all along. Before we begin, welcome to Psychotherapy. If you enjoy psychology, relationships, and human behavior, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Now let's begin. The first sign is emotional unfinished business. The human brain dislikes unanswered questions. When a relationship ends without clear explanations, the mind continues searching for answers. Maybe they suddenly changed. Maybe they left without explaining why. Maybe they never gave you closure. Because your brain never received a satisfying ending, it keeps replaying memories in an attempt to solve the mystery. You are not necessarily thinking about the person. You may actually be thinking about the unanswered questions they left behind. The second sign is that you are attached to the idea of them. This happens more often than most people realize. Sometimes we fall in love with someone's potential rather than who they really are. We imagine the future. We imagine what they could become. We imagine what the relationship could have been. Then when the relationship ends, we mourn the dream, not the reality. The mind continues thinking about them because part of you is still attached to a future that never happened, and letting go of imagined possibilities can be surprisingly difficult. The third sign is emotional inconsistency. Psychologists have discovered something fascinating. People often become more attached to unpredictable affection than consistent affection. When someone is loving one day and distant the next, the brain becomes focused on winning back their attention. The uncertainty creates emotional intensity. You begin chasing the good moments, the compliments, the affection, the connection. Even after the relationship ends, the brain may continue chasing those memories. This is why some of the most confusing relationships become the hardest to forget. The fourth sign is that they became part of your identity. Think about how much your daily life changes when someone becomes important. You text them, talk to them, share your experiences with them, plan your future with them. Over time, they become woven into your routines and your sense of self. Then one day they are gone. Now your mind isn't only adjusting to their absence, it's adjusting to a new version of you, a version that must exist without them. This process takes time, and during that time, memories often return again and again. The fifth sign is idealization. The human brain does not remember relationships perfectly. It remembers them emotionally. As time passes, people often begin focusing on positive memories while minimizing negative ones. You remember the laughter, the happy moments, the connection. But you forget the arguments, the disappointments, the tears, the loneliness. Gradually, the person becomes idealized inside your mind. And once someone becomes idealized, they become much harder to let go. Because now you are comparing reality to a memory that may not even be accurate. The sixth sign is loneliness rather than love. This may be difficult to hear. Sometimes people think they miss a person when they actually miss companionship. They miss having someone to talk to, someone to share life with, someone who made them feel understood. Loneliness can cause the brain to revisit old emotional connections, not because those relationships were perfect, but because the mind naturally seeks comfort during difficult moments. Understanding the difference between love and loneliness is incredibly important, because they often feel similar even though they are very different experiences. The seventh sign is emotional wounds from childhood. Many psychologists believe that adult relationships often activate emotional patterns formed during childhood. If someone made you feel abandoned, rejected, ignored, or emotionally uncertain, they may have triggered deeper emotional experiences that existed long before you met them. This doesn't mean there is something wrong with you. It simply means that the relationship connected to older emotional needs. And when deeper emotional wounds become activated, the mind often struggles to let go, because it is not only processing the present, it is also processing the past. The eighth sign is that your brain is addicted to the emotional cycle. Every emotional experience creates chemical reactions inside the brain: excitement, hope, anticipation, affection. These emotions release powerful chemicals that influence behavior. When a relationship contains emotional highs and lows, the brain can become attached to the emotional roller coaster itself. Even after the relationship ends, part of the brain continues craving the emotional stimulation it once received. This can create a cycle of constant thinking and remembering. Not because the relationship was healthy, but because the emotional experience was intense. The ninth sign is regret. Regret is one of the most powerful emotions human beings experience. You may wonder what would have happened if you had said something different, made a different choice, taken another path. Regret keeps the mind trapped in imaginary scenarios. You replay conversations. You imagine alternative endings. You wonder whether things could have worked out. The problem is that these thoughts rarely provide answers. Instead, they keep you emotionally connected to a past that no longer exists. And finally, the 10th sign is that your mind is trying to teach you something. This may be the most important sign of all. Every meaningful relationship leaves behind lessons. Some teach us what we deserve. Some teach us what we must avoid. Some teach us how strong we truly are. And some reveal wounds we never knew existed. Sometimes the reason you keep thinking about someone is because there is still a lesson waiting to be understood. The mind revisits important experiences until it feels the lesson has been learned. Once understanding arrives, healing often begins. And this brings us to an important truth. The person you can't stop thinking about may not be the center of the story. You are. Your growth, your healing, your self-discovery, your future. The mind often holds on because it believes there is something valuable hidden within the experience. And when you finally discover what that lesson is, the emotional weight often becomes lighter. You stop asking why they left. You stop asking why they changed. You stop asking why things happened the way they did. Instead, you begin asking a different question. What has this experience taught me about myself? That question changes everything, because healing begins when your focus shifts from the other person back to yourself. And once that happens, the memories gradually lose their power. The person who once occupied your thoughts every day begins appearing less often. Not because you forced yourself to forget them, but because your mind finally found the understanding it was searching for. So if there is someone you can't stop thinking about, remember this. It does not automatically mean they are your soulmate. It does not automatically mean you are meant to be together. Sometimes it simply means your mind is still processing an important chapter of your life. And every chapter, no matter how painful, eventually reaches its conclusion. The goal is not to erase the memory. The goal is to learn from it, grow from it, and become stronger because of it. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever struggled to stop thinking about someone? Which of these 10 signs connected with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Someone reading your story may realize they are not alone. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend or loved one who might need to hear this message today. Don't forget to subscribe to Psychotherapy for more psychology insights, relationship truths, and human behavior facts that help you better understand yourself and the world around you. Thank you for watching. And remember, sometimes the reason you can't stop thinking about someone isn't because they are part of your future. It's because they were part of a lesson your mind needed to learn.